Alright, so fresh off of sieging a castle and taking another for our little Khuzait side series here, we are being besieged here at Akhalat City. This is a city I've never defended before. In Khuzait territory here, we're on the far eastern side of the map. We have two cities now and two castles, and the Khuzait don't take kindly to this, evidently. There's a massive force here of 2,800 plus some smaller armies assaulting the city. Of course, we don't have our normal powerful army. We've got new companions right out of a tavern, various other low-level troops, and we have very few Battanian fian champs. This is not my normal army from my campaign. In fact, there you go. We can see we have one Battanian fian champ. We are using a Khuzait army here, and we're going to try to defend like the Khuzait, which also is interesting because I don't have a lot of infantry. So this is not going to be your typical siege defense at this city. This looks like over 3,000. Yeah, it's way over 3,000. We're going to break in to help the defenders here. Make sure I have my correct weapon loadout. Again, for sieges, I like to run a two-handed axe. I will actually discard my pole arm here, put on a nice fast two-handed axe, just because a pole arm is very difficult to swing in tight quarters. But we do have bows, right? We're role-playing as a Khuzait here. 3,800 here, and we will give this a shot. You can see we have 800 troops between the militia, our other companion armies, and then our own army here. And whoops, yeah, sometimes you do this. This is the battlefield that we would attack them on if we meant to attack them in the open, but that's definitely not what I mean to do here. We are going to leave and try this again. Here we go. We're going to break in to help the defenders. We definitely can't attack them out in the open here. And so we lose some troops as we break in, and we're outnumbered almost 6-1. But hopefully we can make a defense here. I've seen this city before a few times, and I decided not to make an episode on this for the Epic Siege series. It is dynamic. It's a unique city, I think. It's got this outer area, but I don't know how we're going to defend this with so few infantry. In fact, I can already see the 2nd Division has infantry in it for some reason. Or excuse me, the 2nd Division has archers in it. So we're going to have to do some configuring. Look at this. If I zoom in on the 2nd Division, this is supposed to be infantry. There's guys with shields. So we're going to have to, I think, remake this entire division here. I don't know what troops these are, actually, that are Khuzait that have shields. Maybe that's their... I just don't know what that is. It's some Khuzait unit, though. We've been steadily recruiting prisoners, Khuzait prisoners and stuff like that. And it's a really odd mix of different units here. Now, this city has all kinds of little stairwells and stuff like that I'm going to be able to try to play with here, set up some formations. Of course, as usual, we want some crossfire. I will be hesitant to put archers up on the wall, but we also have an archer heavy force here, right? We're fighting the Khuzait as well, so this is a very unusual siege defense. Like, that's actually not bad. Even though there's some infantry in there, I can leave those guys there and they will help defend. The 1st Division, of course, in a square at the gate. The 3rd is skirmishers. We'll put them at an angle to the gate. I've got this small 8th Division here. I'm going to have to reconfigure some captains here because I haven't, of course, I haven't made a siege defense with this new configuration of captains. So we put aside about 40 of our elite companions into a city. Of course, if that city gets attacked, they'll be defending. But in all the rest of the battles in this campaign, they're not going to be a factor. So they got a tower over on this side. We will get an archer division, I think, in the courtyard there. Of course, we're going to try to destroy that siege tower, but if they gain access, we have to have a defense ready over here. I've got the 5th archers. That's beautiful. They've got a nice wraparound position up there. These guys up at the top here might be vulnerable to enemy archers, but for now, I'm going to leave those guys just like that. Let's see what else I want to do here. Again, I'm not real familiar with this city. I have no experience defending it, and so I'm not quite certain how this is going to go. This is very much like some of our freestyle episodes where I just narrate live and, you know, make mistakes and then try to recover from those mistakes. I've got the 6th Division now. There's hardly any troops in there. They need a new captain. Let's give them Barag here. This badass can be their captain. And let's use them actually as archers. We have so many archer divisions. I think we're going to have to really develop some nasty crossfire in this battle. Otherwise, we're not going to win. I just don't have the infantry. I basically have maybe 60 infantry on the battlefield right now and then like 300 archers. So we're going to have to get creative. Of course, it's harder to jam up a city when you only have archers, right? You can't put a bunch of shield walls and squares all over the place simply because a lot of my troops don't have shields, right? I'm playing the Khuzait here. And the whole purpose of this series, this side series, is to show you what I would do if I was playing Khuzait. Doesn't mean we don't have infantry. We just don't have very much infantry. All right, I got to reconfigure the 5th Corps captain as well. Fortunately, I do have about 9 companions that are very high level. That'll have nice banners, right? You can see plus charge damage, decreased range taken damage, and we will pair these captains with these divisions as well as we can. Now, this left side, it does look like we can get some nasty crossfire. If the enemy gets through the main gate, we can square it up over there and I think really pound the enemy with ammunition, right? We can have archers on the side walls. Archers at the back here, archers on that wall there, on where the 2nd Division is, and really give the enemy an arterial barrage. See that stairway there? That stairway goes straight up. I think we can use that as well. We'd be able to put infantry on the stairwell and pound the enemy in the courtyard. Like all keep sieges, I like to sort of look at things from the overhead view to start. And I'm going to try to get my horse up here. What I want to do is I want to give the rest of my troops sort of an overview, take a look at what's going on here, assess what the enemy's doing, and then make plans from that point on, right? This is reconnaissance. This is an essential part of being a good field commander, is assessing where you might have problems and then trying to fix it. Over here, we've got a catapult. I'm going to try to destroy that siege tower. These guys are already firing at it, but a lot of times they target troops instead of the siege tower. Holy shit. So this catapult's obviously positioned like dog shit. Whoever put this up here is an amateur. We're getting fucking shot with arrows before I can even fucking shoot this fucking thing. That's not going to work. We'll try it. Yeah, it's just not going to work. I'm getting absolutely shelled. Now I don't think I can get my horse up here. I'm going to get killed standing on my horse. So this whole side is fucked. That catapult is fucking worthless, and so we're gonna basically abandon attempts from that catapult at least to destroy that siege tower. Now I can try to get to the other siege towers here, or other catapults rather. Motherfucker. The enemy has so many archers, of course, because they're playing Khuzait. Even though we have a ton of archers, obviously we're massively outnumbered here. Fucking assholes. All right. So I got a fire catapult here with these explodable rounds. Out of the way. We need to destroy this siege tower ASAP if we're going to have any chance of defending this. You can't have the enemy coming in unimpeded from three different directions, especially when you have so few infantry. So we're going to try to get. Okay, so we're a little bit. Our aim's off a little bit, but I think we're going to be able to take this thing down. And fortunately, here I'm not getting shot to pieces like that other location. This shot should, bang, just drilled it. All right, so, okay, so we can throw these, but it's actually going to be highly deadly just to use this bomb here. I think we can drill these troops. These guys are, yeah, they're going to reconfigure. They're trying to reset, so we can lob this right into the thickly packed troops there. Killed a bunch of them, but they're already rushing up. You know what they have here is they have a siege ladder right here. Okay, so they got ladders here, which means they're going to absolutely pack their units as tight as possible. And, of course, we'll be able to obliterate them with bombs here. I've got like a dozen of these things here. These guys on the catapult next to me aren't firing because, just like me, they lost line of sight there. Fortunately, I don't even need to see the enemies here. I'm just literally lobbing them up into the air, and every time I throw one, it kills 20 guys. And I'm throwing these as fast as I can because we're gonna have to start getting our defenses ready. So just every throw, fucking 10 cons guards and other tier 5 units. Of course, this is the enemy's elite units are coming first. They got troops already getting off the ladder. Can't see shit because I killed too many guys. I'm hitting my own guys. In fact, I'm killing my own cons guards. God damn it. Okay, so this right side is no longer needed. These guys are no longer needed in their current position, so we will have them reinforce the rest of our troops. And they're not needed, of course, because we destroyed their siege tower. We can concentrate our defenses back here and start to really try and figure out how to destroy this large Khuzait force. This is where they're coming up on the siege ladders, and we're going to try to teach them a lesson here. Violently attack these fucks. They got lords coming up here. You're a dead man too. Now I've got this archer division that I just pulled with me. They'll be able to help push back this initial wave, but I'm worried about the courtyard first. Right, we can get some troops positioned over there. That'll be crossfire on the courtyard and sort of try to regain this upper area. We need to control this upper area for us to have a successful defense. See, they're just absolutely pouring up these ladders. Fucking cons guards. I'll be prioritizing these guys with their fast glaives. Fucking assholes. Fortunately, my axe is faster than their glaive, right? So a lot of these guys I can just cut through. Now I just got to juke and dive out of the way of these various weapons. All right, those guys are in good shape. The gate's in pretty good shape here. And look at this crossfire we've got. We can just smoke guys as they come in and hit our square. The 3rd division is there. They're throwing javelins. Hey, your feet are still vulnerable, dude. And this is the best way to kill these guys. Just shoot them right in the calf. Maybe not realistic, but it's what we got. There's some fucking dipshits coming up. Have another shot in your foot. Alright, so let's get these archers closer here. I want these guys occupying this area, and I can call the 8th Corps to me. The motherfucker's trying to shoot at me. Fuck you. Yeah, have another one. I'm going to call the 8th Corps to me, and it's like 3 guys strictly to act as a bodyguard unit, right? These guys, I just want them nearby me so that these guys aren't attacking me as we're shooting the gate. This fuck here, fucking coming up to me. Have an arrow. Yeah, I need more troops up here. Let's get this division up here. That way they're physically on these ramparts. I think they're out of line of sight of the enemy's archers, and that's critical, right? Otherwise they get shot to pieces. We want the enemy to have to come up these ladders and then get smoked. I got these 2 bodyguards, and now we can start really firing away from the flank here. I can actually move this square away from me here, and all of these archers are going to be able to pound the enemy as they come in. Right? We've got 3 divisions. Look at this, perfect. With a huge amount of archers amongst their divisions, and we're going to be able just to light the enemy up here. This guy's got my side. This guy's actually shooting while he guards me, which is even better. And it's just fish in a barrel here. The square, that's like all our infantry almost, and they're just holding the line. The 3rd Corps is throwing javelins. The archers are shooting. My side is protected here. I can take a little sip of my drink. In fact, I'm literally going to take a sip while I shoot here. You need refreshments in a battle like this. And now we're going to try to shut this side off with charging with the 3rd Corps. Hopefully you got a tasty beverage, right? These epic sieges, and this is not part of our epic siege series, but it might as well be. In fact, I'll probably add it to the playlist because we're fighting fucking 4,000 troops, right? This is going to be an epic siege. Anybody who's had a big siege before, maybe 1,200 troops, this is 3 or 4 times that, right? This is going to be a massive siege defense, and it's going to be very, very bloody. I'm going to have to be creative too here, right? This is going to force me to sort of think outside the box. I've played Khuzait for like 2 weeks before in a campaign, but by no means am I an expert at using the Khuzait. I just know as a battlefield commander, I have lots of archers here and not very many infantry. So I know I have to use that mix of troops better than I normally do, or differently than I normally do, right? We're going to start getting archers spread out on the left. I think the left side is going to be our linchpin here, left of where I'm standing right now. Because of that stairway, because of the 3 different angles that we can get on the enemy, right? If and when they start to burst through the gate here, we will use a square over there. We will try to get crossfire and reverse fire on the enemy where we're shooting them from behind. Oh, sorry there, gal. Shooting my companions as usual. I mean, if my troops thought I was deadly to them before with javelins, wait till they see me shooting them repeatedly with my bow. I can kill a lot of my own troops in this episode. Squares holding out. The death spam is highly favorable at this stage. The enemy's sort of trickling through the sides, but it's the right speed. It's the right amount. It's a trickle, not a flood. Right? We want the enemy coming through in dribs and drabs. My health is already at a perilous state. I guess I should use my bow more, huh? I can hear you guys saying, "You got a bow, dipshit, use it." All right, let's get archers starting to be set up here because this square is just not going to hold out. I just don't have the infantry I want to normally sort of refill that square at the gate. So we're going to be doing lots of shooting. It seems kind of cowardly for me. This fucking asshole charging up. But this is just how we're going to have to play Khuzait. This is not how you have to play Khuzait. I'm just hoping that a lot of the things I do here is beneficial. If you have a Khuzait campaign, hopefully I can show you some things of what a highly experienced Bannerlord player would do. You can see the death spam, right? That's basically my... that's our analysis of what's going on. I glance up there every once in a while in between shooting. Of course, right here, I barely even need to aim. The enemy's so thickly packed in there, I can just fire nonstop. And the death spam is 90% green. We're losing the square. Slowly, the square is being worn down, and the enemy's sneaking around the margins of it. There's, of course, guys coming up here that are getting onto our ramparts via the ladders. But this death spam is exactly the recipe we need, right? Highly, highly green. And not a whole lot of allied troops dying. Now that square is going to wear down. So what my plan is basically to use troops up here, to use troops at that far range. In fact, I'm going to drag a unit all the way over to that far, far rampart. And they're effectively going to be sort of our last ring of defense if we start to get overrun, right? We're going to hold this portion of the city till the very end. I remind you, we do show losses on this episodes. Now, for this campaign, if I suffer losses early on, it'll be fatal for it. So I might even reload a battle if we lose early on here, just because the whole purpose of this is to show you tactics. It's not like I'm going to try to conquer the world with the Khuzait here. This series, if I had to guess, will be 10, 12, 15 episodes. And then... hopefully I've sort of fulfilled people's desire to see Khuzait in a wide variety of different tactical situations and how I would use them. Alright, so the main square is dissolved, so we're going to get our secondary square formed here at the base of these stairs. All of these archers here can now shoot down on the enemy as they're moving in. We're going to move the 6th around the corner there, and what that does is it forces the enemy to go approach those troops. Meanwhile, all these archers here can now shoot them in the side and the back, right? With me up here as well. I can grab some more arrows from this handy-dandy arrow barrel and just continue to light troops up. Right now, of course, we're shooting down on them, so we're hitting a lot of these troops in the head. We're killing some of our own troops. That's inevitable. But the bottom line is I think this is going to work. It's very messy right now. That 7th Division is too jammed up. We'll have them follow me, and then we will reposition these guys. I have some militia troops already mixed in with our units here. And there is some death spam, but look, I got militia, right? You're going to suffer losses. When you have militia on the battlefield, you can't expect to just see a perfect green screen of the enemy only dying. Out of the way, you're going to get shot. All right, still have beautiful line of sight. They have archers trying to come up here and trying to attack in melee, and these guys are just literal fish in a barrel. It's Khuzait in a barrel. Look at all these archers up here. There's a few infantry mixed in, and I like that, because if they start getting zerged, the enemy continues to come up the ladders. What is this? This is archers. So the enemy continues to come up these ladders, and obviously I want these archers somewhat protected. Now the militia on the other side, they're shooting these guys in the back. Of course, those guys are definitely going to get zerged, right? Because the enemy's going to pour through the gate. There's a square heading to the gate. I'm actually going to bring them over here. This is now the 1st Division of reinforcements. We're killing more of our own troops. I think that's 3 or 4 now. Look at that square is coming over. It's all militia in that square. But look how big it is, right? That's 70 guys that I'm going to be able to jam up on those stairs. And we've got this just massive crossfire on the enemy here. There's a lot of death right now, but look at the death spam. A lot of the death spam is militia. And that's just inevitable, right? These are very weak troops. Some of them are tier 2, and they're not going to be able to take on elite troops. Still in a square, they should last longer than normal. And now that we get these guys set up here, we should have absolutely lethal crossfire. Like the arrows that are about to rain on the enemy here is going to be sick. But look at all these different arrows and angles that these archers have. Every single archer here is shooting. And fortunately, you know, there's cons guards and whatnot mixed in with these archers, right? So it's a very powerful archer mix. We can continue to sort of fine-tune where these archers are standing. And this has, considering the odd nature of this siege defense, this has every chance of succeeding. I can't tell where I'm getting a shot from. It's probably from the outside. And you can see these guys coming up here don't have much chance. As soon as they expose themselves, they get smoked. 134 damage that guy took. So the enemy here obviously has high-level lords as well. That's just going to make it even harder. Fortunately, these guys aren't even paying me any attention. Very bad decision. We can rip through these guys and clear this side off. All right, I've got militia archers here. What is this? This is another huge tranche of archer reinforcements. Let's divide these divisions. Let's get the 5th transferred to the 3rd, and let's start getting some guys spread out in different locations so that these archers can protect each other. Right? They basically, if one side gets attacked, the other guys are shooting the people attacking that side. We'll split this infantry division too, because what I can do is I can stick an infantry division up here and help those guys deal with the guys coming up on the ladders. Right? I basically took some of the infantry and put them up here on the ramparts with us, and the rest of them is on the square. You see they're all having like a seizure for whatever reason. They're reverberating like they're on a fucking vibrating bed or something like that. But look at the death span, right? It was just a massive wave of green as we maul the enemy here. Anybody that sneaks through, of course, they get crushed. I'll be down here with my axe wailing away. But this looks highly, highly successful. In fact, I won't be surprised to see the enemy rout here eventually. You know, when the enemy suffers that kind of a beating, look at all these archers here. I can just bring, and there's cons guards and high-level horse archers in there. We definitely have a nasty setup here. I'm going to pull these guys closer so they have better line of sight. And as soon as I like where they are, stop. Right, you tell them to stop right where they are, halt. And now all these guys, look at just machine gun fire on the poor enemy. The square's holding out on the stairs. I don't even need to fuck around with the margins though. These guys will shoot them for me. We'll let our troops work here. In fact, I'm gonna have another drink. Today we're gonna kill the enemy here while we sip our tasty beverage. That's how good this Khuzait defense is setting up. So the infantry up here are slowly getting dwindled down, but they're holding out, right? There's like, what is there, 5-6 guys there holding in a square. I've got some archers here. We can get these guys good line of sight on the attackers. The square is going to hold out to my left. I don't even have to worry about my left, right? I can focus on shooting. And you can see what a pinch the enemy's in, right? They're coming around that corner. They get smoked by archers from 3 different angles. These guys on the stairs are pounding them. I mean, this is like D-Day for the enemy. They have absolutely no chance. Well, I guess that's not true. In D-Day, they were successful, right? These guys have less chance than D-Day, right? This is a no chance for the enemy. Their archers are coming up, and they're too tightly packed. Oops, we're killing more guys. Oh, that guy didn't quite die, I think. And the enemy, they're streaming in, but I just don't think... I mean, we'll see. I think those squares are going to hold. Our forces are reduced, but I just look at the death span, right? I feel great about this situation. I'm going to come in here and help maul these guys. My archer skills will probably get better over the course of this mini-series. I don't have a lot of experience lately using a bow and arrow, but that's going to change with this series, right? What I'll do is I'll focus on this series for a month or two while I'm doing a few of the other side series, right? For those that want to see like the 300 series still, never fear, right? I'm still going to have those series as part of the channel. I'm going to still have the deathmatch campaign. I'm basically trying to juggle these 3 or 4 different series because the guys that come to the channel, you guys want to see different material, right? Just like Netflix, some people want to watch the Nature Channel, other people want to see Breaking Bad and people being dissolved in acid. There's no dissolving of acid here of the troops, right? But we will have some beheadings and do some savage shit. The Peasants Revolt. You know, we're going to have a variety of different episodes to entertain and educate you fellas. Don't know why these guys are going out the door. What division is this? Okay, this is the 8th Corps. Come back, fellas. Now, I pulled this square out of here just to see if we can't make some hay and then have the other area as a secondary defense, but there's so many enemy forces coming in here, I think we're going to have to reconfigure this. Look at this. It's just a giant wave of the enemy pouring through. So let's pull these guys back. Let's keep that side there jammed with that square. As we're moving these guys back, of course, fortunately, we have archer protection. Like, all these archers are basically our rear guard, and we can get these guys reset, right? Sometimes you basically will try something and then realize halfway through, hey, that's not going to work. It's important as a battlefield commander to be humble and say, hey, that wasn't smart, let's fix it. this is one of the most important things with just being a human, not just a leader, a commander like this, but being a human, is to recognize when you're wrong, admit you made a mistake, admit you were doing something that's not going to work, and change it. It doesn't mean that you're an idiot. In fact, it's on the contrary. You become more enlightened when you're willing to admit that you made a mistake and move on, make corrections, and adjust your situation. Now look at this. These guys are now trapped between reinforcements and our square. They're being shot and trapped. I mean, the enemy is absolutely getting mauled. Attacking us right now. Now I'm going to put some archers. There's a bunch of archers in this reinforcement group. We're going to position them in the courtyard. Never mind. We can get a few shots here on this fucking coward enemy. In fact, I wonder if you can. I was going to fucking hammer him with the ballista as they ran away. Evidently, you can't do that. We're going to shoot a few of these insolent Khuzait as they leave, just to remind them, who got their asses smoked today. All right, so there's a Khuzait defense here of this city, the city Akalat. If you're defending this city, just know that you can defend it in a manner pretty similar to how we did right here today. I understand it's not easy just to copy paste what I did here, but hopefully you can understand what I did. Maybe watch this episode a couple times, or you can always pause and stuff like that, look back on it. Now, we did suffer almost over 500 losses, but we killed more than 2,500. I'll take a 5-to-1 KDR. Zuvan racked up 424 kills. It should be 428 because he killed 4 of his own. But there you have it. There's a siege defense using Khuzait troops, using their odd amalgamation of mostly archers, horse archers, cav, and a sprinkling of infantry. Again, this side series, maybe 8, 10, 12 episodes. It might go a little bit longer than that. It depends on 2 things. It depends on how much I'm enjoying it. Well, 3 things. How much I'm enjoying it, how much you guys are enjoying it, and then also if there's enough variability, right? I really try to keep redundancy away from the channel. I'm not going to have episodes that are virtually identical. There might be episodes that are similar, but I'm trying to provide you guys content that's new, refreshing, interesting, so that when you click that little thing on the side of YouTube that you're going to be entertained, right? It's going to be something you may not have seen before, probably haven't seen before, and it might even be unique to YouTube, right? We're definitely pushing the outer edge of tactics here on Bannerlord. When I watch other Bannerlord channels, I don't know, it just seems different. I don't want to say anything too negative about other people on Bannerlord, but they're still using 2 divisions. 3 divisions. It really seems like they're stuck in the medieval ages, and we are advancing into tactical enlightenment, right? We are pushing the modern edge of tactics. I know that's why a lot of you fellas watch the channel, right? Because we're doing some pretty advanced stuff, and I appreciate you guys. All the normal things I'll say here at the end of the episode as we get a little auto save in. We now have 2 cities and 2 castles in this Khuzait side series. Let me know what you think of this side series. Please comment. Please subscribe, of course, if you want to see more. If you have certain requests, if you want to see me try a certain defense or a certain attack type or attack a different kingdom with Khuzait, as you can see here, right? We have potentially the Northern Empire, the Southern Empire, Sturgeons might be fighting us, the Aserai, and obviously the Khuzait. This is going to be a pretty interesting series and refreshing for me as well. All right, with all that said, thanks again, friends. Please subscribe, please like, all that kind of good stuff, and I will see you, friends, next time.